Good evening. No, we are not in a jazz club. You're watching your weekly live dose of real estate reality. My name is Jackie Baker. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Appreciate you all being here. The topic for the week is about a number of cities that are now seeing a lot of price reductions. And we're going to go through that list. This is on realtor.com. And we're going to talk about that and see where these places are where we're seeing a lot of price reductions. And what does that mean? So what does this mean for the housing market? Because, that's what we talk about every week when I come live. So let's get into it right now. I want to bring on my good friend who she's been on here before and a fellow Jerseyan, sort of. I mean, she lives in Philly, but outside of Philly, but she does a lot of business in South Jersey. So I guess we can call her a Jersey girl too. All right. Let's welcome back Miss Olga St. Pierre. How are you?
Hey, Jackie. Awesome to be back again. I'm looking forward to having a good time.
Yeah, same. It's always a great conversation when you come on. I so appreciate it. So I was excited. When you said yes, I'm like, yay, we're going to do it again. So.
Yeah.
All right. So, Miss Olga, let's talk about, and now I sent you this article. I know you read it. So this is, here we go. Sellers are slashing home prices by 25% or more in these 10 U.S. cities everybody wants to live in. So this is going to be really interesting. So the U.S. housing market continues to respond to the Federal Reserve's September interest rate cut, which brought mortgage interest rates down to 6.2% in mid-September, and that was the lowest since September 2023. While mortgage rates have edged up since then, the ripple effect of falling rates is clear. As more homes hit the market, sellers are being forced to make price reductions to compete. The median home price dropped nearly $5,000 between August and September, from $429,990 to $425,000. Even better news for buyers: price reductions increased by 0.9 percentage points this September compared with the same time last year, according to Realtor.com September housing market trends. More housing stock equals less competition. What's driving the price cuts in addition to more moderate mortgage rates? It's a classic case of supply and demand. Lower interest rates have drawn both buyers and sellers into the market, and sellers who have already listed their homes are now forced to offer more competitive prices to compete with new inventory. The housing market saw a 34% year-over-year growth in the number of homes for sale in September, while the total number of unsold homes jumped 22.9% from the previous year. New listings rose by 11.9% year-over-year, flooding the market with more options for buyers and making it harder for sellers to stand out without cutting prices. So where are these cities where we're seeing the price reduction? So here are the top 10. Coming in, we had number one, we have Phoenix, Arizona. Their median list price is at $532,000. So the percent of listings with price reductions is 25%. Increase in price reductions in Phoenix is 1.4%. Now, Olga, look at Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas, we've been watching for a while. They've been softening for, I think, this whole year. So they have an 8.8% increase in price reductions year over year.
So I have my best friend, one of my best friends lives in Austin, and I visit Austin on a regular basis. So I was just there in August, and I can attest to that. Their market is actually very challenging right now. She said, I would love to have more buyers. We have homes sitting on the market. We have to reduce prices. And now buyers feel like they are in the position to be able to ask for some concessions and some extra goodies like bonuses and things like that.
Right. Yep. So that is definitely like the toughest market right now. So what else we got here? Denver, Colorado, their median list price is $649,000. Virginia Beach, this surprised me a little bit. Virginia Beach, their median price is $649,000, but now the increase in price reductions 4.7% year over year. Mm-hmm. So that was really interesting. In Miami, Florida, I'm not surprised at 3.5%. Florida, as we know, they've been hit pretty hard too with this housing market, with the prices coming down.
You know,
With
I'm actually I'm actually in Florida right now visiting,
right,
and
yep,
I'm scheduled to have a lunch with another agent that I'm really good friends with and partners as well for some of my business. So on
yep.
Wednesday we're going to sit down and talk about it because I know it's not just parts where it's Miami, but the Panhandle is seeing it really, really. It's a big reality for them too as well.
The Panhandle, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, look, they just got hit pretty bad with Helene, didn't they? With Hurricane Helene.
So Helene and Milton have really done some damage to the Gulf Coast.
Right, right.
Tampa, Clearwater, are a lot of the beaches, and there's lots of things that are happening. I have a friend agent that I saw over the weekend that showed me pictures of what is happening in the suburbs of St. Petersburg and Tampa.
Yeah.
People got flooded out, and they had a few feet of water in their homes, and they weren't expecting it. So,
Wow.
that area is, it'll be interesting to see how the housing market actually reacts to those issues because I had a client of mine call me literally last week after Milton. She said, Olga, this was a tipping point. We're coming back up north. They're coming
Mhm.
back to New Jersey. So,
Mhm.
food for thought for a lot of people, I think.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, definitely. So, let me get to let's see, we got some comments already coming in. I want to
Mhm.
hear what everybody has to say. Hold on a second.
Hi,
Um
Nancy.
Here we go. Hello, Nancy. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. LG, aloha from Michigan. Thank you for being here. Urano, hi. How are you? I'm so good. We got some new faces here.
Right.
MH, you're back. I live in a dumpy neighborhood in Denver. Prices actually went up this year. Really? They're just saying that the price reductions in Denver. Oh my gosh. Hi. Donna Painter, hi, how are you? Thanks. We got a couple of people from Michigan.
Michigan.
I
Mhm.
love it. And Kate D. Hello, Kate. Welcome back. Oh, it's so good to see you.
So maybe these watchers can tell us how things are happening in Michigan because they're
Yeah.
already gone. So I would love to hear that.
Yes. If you can share your
Mhm.
experience out there, anybody from Michigan, chime in. Hello from Hurricane Alley, Fascist Florida. Oh, geez. I hope you did, Lane. I hope you didn't get a lot of damage from the hurricanes. Nina, in Raleigh, North Carolina, too, I see house reductions from sellers. Yep. I've been hearing that too about North Carolina, especially Raleigh. They are definitely, so those, we've been talking about this. Those markets that were hit in the pandemic, that like the prices got super inflated because everybody just migrated south or, to Austin, Texas, getting out of, their wherever they were. And now the prices are coming back down. The
The
people are
reality
leaving. They're
is
going,
setting
the
in.
reality is, yes. Hello, Mr. Garcia.
Hey, Robert,
Hello.
how are you?
Yeah, it's good to see him here. Okay. So, Jen, we got a question here from John Patton. Here we go. Hey, John, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So, what is a lowball offer without being offensive percentage wise? I I say like 5%. You can like you want to go down 5%. I mean, Olga, is that what you do? I've said like 5,
You,
without being
you,
too offensive.
I agree with you. And I also think that it's important that if you don't want to be offensive, which I think is a really good strategy, but if you
Yeah.
reach out to the seller and to their agent and just ask them what's important to them. Because
Yes.
you might be surprised to some of them, it may not be the price, and maybe something else in the terms. You just never know.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, that always helps. Hello, Bob Curran. How are you? Thanks for being back. Hello from New Milford. Hello, Roy. Appreciate you being here.
Oh, hi,
And
Nancy from
Nancy's from
Philly.
oh, your neck of the woods,
Yes,
Philly.
it is. Yes, it
All
is.
right. All right, cool. So
You know what,
how
too? The
yeah,
other
go
thing
ahead.
that I think people are also, it's important to note, and that happens every 4 years, we are in a presidential election year.
Yes.
And especially now where are we, what, a couple of weeks before the elections?
Yep.
I have seen a lot of people literally just take a step back and say, I'm going to just wait and see what happens.
Yep.
It happens every 4 years, right? September,
Yes.
October, things die down.
Yeah.
because people are just not sure. There's a lot of things that are happening that are very emotional to a lot of people on
Mhm.
social media, on internet, and other people are talking, and they start to get anxious and concerned, and they say, well, I'm just going to wait and see what happens until November 5th
Yep.
comes,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And I was just talking to a friend of mine this morning about it, and we're convinced that come January, the real estate market's gonna blow up again, no matter who's in office, because I think everybody's just I just think whoever's gonna be president, is not gonna mean anything. People are just gonna get out again now that we have an answer. At that point, we'll have an answer, we'll know what to expect, but I think people are just gonna come out like gangbusters again.
People need
So,
to live a place to have a place to live. Oh, they
yes.
always do. It's the number
Yeah.
one most important thing. And
Yeah.
I actually did a research and video because I had a couple of clients ask me that. Do you think that the housing market is affected by the elections? What is happening and why, especially presidential elections? And I've
Yep.
done some research and I looked into some of the studies that were done, and it actually has been proven that it's not the political elections that make a huge impact on the housing market, but it's more like big events like hurricanes, 9/11, things
Right.
that have really impacted. That's what plays a bigger role rather than the actual elections.
Right. Right. Exactly. So, MH says he was on Realtor Saturday night, no life. Oh, stop. You have a life. Was shocked at what they were asking on this block. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends. Like they were saying and that realtor.com, they're saying that there's been price reductions in Denver, but again, it gets down to as local as with the street you're on, the neighborhood you're in. So certain neighborhoods still may be thriving.
And you know what,
Um,
too? Even in a small state like New Jersey, I am seeing different things from you, Jackie. Things
yeah.
are so much more different up north, and then you go down south. It takes an hour to get down there, and
Mhm.
things that are under 500,000 are selling very well. Things that are
Oh,
500 are sitting.
yeah, they're going they're out. So I'm working with somebody right now that's looking to buy in Morris County up here in North
Hmm.
Jersey.
Hmm.
He's in, that 4 to 500,000 price range, and it's like bidding
Really?
wars galore. Every house we looked at, multiple offers.
Do you
Yeah.
think that's the new first-time home buyers threshold that used to be like 250,
Oh,
300?
it totally is.
Right?
It totally, because these are all first timers. These are
Mhm.
first time buy like, I'm working with a couple of first time buyers, and that's the price range they're in. And that's, you gotta, the problem is you gotta go either further west in Jersey or you're going south. But a
Mhm.
lot of people, like this particular person, needs to be in Morris County so he can get into the city.
Mhm.
Bergen County's out. Bergen and Passaic are just getting too expensive. So,
Right.
but really quick before I get on, so Adventures of Snickers and Minnie, cute
That is
name you got
cute.
there. Um, Riverside, California. I don't know, but I
Tell
mean,
us more. Yeah. What about Riverside, California? I would love to hear more about
yeah, I would love to hear about that. But I want to share with you about. Let me go back to the article really quick.
it. Mhm.
Um, the bottom of that list is San Jose, California.
Oh,
That has
Riverside, right there. Look, number 9
There
is
there it is,
Riverside.
Riverside, duh. Okay. So
Okay.
0.06, that's it. It was a very small price reduction year over year, but 28.1% of the homes in Riverside, California have price reductions.
That's a lot.
So
That's almost
it's
a
a large
third.
amount, but look at the price, the increase in price reductions, I mean, that's only 0.6%
Hmm.
for them, but very interesting. So I wanted to share something else
You know
to
what? I'm
talk.
going to look up and see where Riverside is located because I'm
You
curious.
you do that, and I'm gonna pull up some stats on the Dirty Jers. Okay. So if we look, this is from August, and what I hate about New Jersey realtors, they don't post the next month's report until the 23rd of each month. I'm like, "Really? You couldn't put it out 2 days early for me?" So anyway, so Olga, take a look at this. This is from August the 24th. This is crazy for New Jersey because you look at all these other cities that have they're going through price reductions, and look over here, a 1 year change in median sales price increased 6.7% in August, And August is a slow month here in Jersey, but the price increases are just it's still going. I mean, if you look at the new listings, there's a decrease of 2.3%.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jersey's got like it's so challenging. I mean, look at this now. Median sales price in August up 5.6% to 591,000. And the average sales price, this is the entire state, 738,297, up
Look at the
7.1%.
Yeah, look at the percentage of list price. People got an extra 4% on top of what they were asking.
I know. Look at that.
Hmm.
103.8% over list. I mean, that's insane. So
Yeah,
Jersey, now this is just for single family homes. This first section. Then we go into townhomes. Townhomes, same thing. It's the
right.
same thing.
Oh yeah,
The
sure.
adult,
Yeah, how is
yeah,
that going?
the adult community, same thing. I
Hmm.
mean, look at that. Look at the average sales price, 10.2% increase year over year to 420,000. So now it's like you can't retire in Jersey. It's just getting more expensive. You can't
It
buy a
is.
house.
It
So
is.
yeah, but this is I wanted to share this with everybody because um Jersey's just the facts. This is the data. Like this is what's happening in Jersey, and I don't think that's going to slow down anytime soon. It's not.
I think
So,
you're right on point with regards to the fact that once the elections are over, things
mhm,
people are going to have their Thanksgiving, they're going to celebrate their holidays, and then it's going to be back to business as usual in January. We need a place to live, we have a job
mhm,
transfer, we need to go see our
mm,
grandkids. I think it's going to be right
yep,
back to it. And what typically happens once the new government comes in place, the new changes are starting to happen probably by the summer and the fall of next year, and
yep.
there's a very good chance that the rates are going to come down.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot
They
of people are hoping
definitely
for.
will. Yeah, they're
Mhm.
gonna come back down. They'll be in the low 6s, high 5s, probably by
Yeah,
next spring.
exactly.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
hearing. Um, we have another comment here. Homes aren't selling in Southwest Florida. Yeah, I feel for them down there. This is gonna be hard. First of all, recovering from these hurricanes, and then it, how are you gonna sell your house? You
And you
know,
know what, too?
people are
So
not
new construction has been dead
been dead
since
since
summer.
summer. Yeah.
Well, also, Florida is now dealing with the new rule changes for the condos as well
Hmm.
because of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one collapse that happened. So that's kind of
Yep.
like one thing on top of the other.
Well, the condo market, I had Paul Likens on a couple of weeks ago, who lives
Hmm.
down in Southwest Florida, and he said, I think the average time on market for condos is 7 months. I mean,
Ooh.
when the hell's the last time you heard about, you heard a market like that's a buyer's market.
And that's a
Once you get
repeat.
about
Right, and that's the repeat of what they had back in 10, 12, right? 2010, 2012. The condo
yeah,
market was sitting because they
yeah,
built so many. So this is
exactly.
now kind of coming back a full circle.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Bob Curran, Bronx, New York is still hot. Yeah. All in New York is like still
I think
hot.
city and all the boroughs are a very different market. And I think each borough is going to be a different market. I'm not very
Yeah.
familiar either, but I know
Hmm.
that Brooklyn is very much hot and popular because some people who are not able to maybe afford living in Manhattan, they head over to Brooklyn,
Yeah.
or they all go to Fort Lee and Jersey City and Hoboken
Yes.
here in New Jersey because it still is close enough. So
Exactly. Well, Brooklyn's been a hot market for years. I
mm,
mean, there's $1 million homes in Brooklyn. Like who'd have thought?
yeah,
But
they're catching up to Manhattan. That's for
yeah.
sure.
Yes. Kate D says my real estate agent is going to put my house on the market this week. Oh, yay! That's exciting. For higher than she first said 2 months ago, due to selling a home in the area recently for a higher price. Well, then she's doing the right thing. So Kate, keep us informed. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
that'll be you'll be
So
curious.
I, I'm sending you good vibes. I hope you get a quick sale. Hi, Clark. How you doing, buddy? Glad
By
you're
the way, by the way, Riverside, California, I looked it up. It's
okay.
just east of Anaheim.
Okay.
So it's like east of LA. So
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like between LA by Laguna Beach and quite a bit of north of San Diego, just to give you
Okay.
a perspective on where it is.
I
But I look,
wonder if our friend Joe Pareca, he's out in LA. I wonder if
yeah,
Riverside's one of his markets. It might be.
you might.
Hey Mimo, you're here early. Yes, you are. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming joining us. Aloha everyone. Great. So prices dropped from the highest in recorded history to the second highest in recorded history. This is hell. I know. I know. I feel for you. But listen, there are oh my gosh. What was that, Olga?
I know.
What it's good.
My
So,
bad.
so, yeah, so the thing is, so this list that I'm sharing with you guys, I mean, not saying that there's basement, there's bargain prices going on right now in these other cities. It's just, they are seeing price reductions. So here in the Northeast, not going to slow down. And I feel like I say this every week. It's not going to slow down, I don't think, anytime soon. So, um, I know. I'm sorry about that. It's dropping from the highest recorded to the second highest. So yeah. All right. What else we got? Eric from Fort Lee townhouses are 1.3 million that were 855 years ago. Can you believe that?
I
Can
can't.
you freaking believe that? 1.3 million. Oh, another story. Like before I forget. So I can do a client of mine who has a friend that's selling her house here in Bergen County. $3.2 million it went on the market for. Got it under contract for 3.5. I'm like, "You've gotta be kidding me." But, the town that this is in, it's a very desirable town. But obviously it's like a mansion, but 3.2 sold for 3.5. Anyway,
Well, you know
that's
what? If you think
Jersey.
about it, to give people perspective on this, is when you are trying to buy a home in Manhattan and you
Yeah.
realize that the same amount that you would have spent maybe for a two-bedroom apartment, let's say in Manhattan or Brooklyn, you
Yep.
can get a nice big house with a yard. It
Yeah.
gives you a perspective and say, well, you know what,
Yeah.
this doesn't sound so bad. And then
Oh,
this,
yeah. Well, that's what I was hearing from people, like, during the pandemic when New York City people were reaching out to me and they were coming out to look at houses. They were even looking at houses with pools
mhm.
because, they couldn't have that in New York City. So, yeah, oh my God, it was like, it's crazy how quick they were selling. Packer Geek, I have 20% down for up to $500,000 home. I currently pay 800 for rent and make 130 a year. Should I buy a house? I live 45 minutes outside of Portland. So you have to do the math and make sure you can afford that mortgage payment. Going from $800 to a mortgage payment going to be a little bit of a shock to the
It
system.
will
So run your numbers every which way. Up, down, sideways. Make sure it makes sense, and make sure you have an emergency fund saved up before you even buy the house, because you're going to need that. But should you buy it? Again, do the math, do the numbers, make sure it works. And if it's the right time for you, it's time to get out of that apartment, then it's time for you to buy. So, all right, what else we got? Eric says Fort Lauderdale area is still very strong. All right, well, that's good. But that's over on Fort Lauderdale's the east coast of Florida, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
I think it's about an hour north of Miami.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
mostly, I think most of them are single family homes or townhouses.
Yep. Okay. Do you think it's a good time to flip houses in South Jersey? What do you think, Olga? Olga, that's your market. What do you think?
Whenever clients reach out to me and say, Olga, I would like to flip some houses and become an investor, and they always ask me, when is a good time to do so? I can tell you that the good time to do so is when you are ready and you feel that you have the funds and you have everything set up and you know exactly what you're looking for. I
Yeah.
know investors who were buying in the crazy market that we've had during COVID, they were
Yep.
still finding deals. I know people that have really significantly profited when the market was going back to 2008, 9, and 10 because there was a ton of inventory. So when is a good
Mhm.
time to buy some things in investment? It's pretty much any time as long as you understand how the numbers work, especially when you're doing a flip. You have to
Right.
understand what those numbers are.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Okay. Thank you for that. Patty Wilhelm, thanks for being here. South Florida overrated and overinflated prices. Well, they're starting to come back down now.
Oh,
Part of the
there you go.
Florida problem is insurance. There you go. Yes, I talk about this every week as well. The homeowners insurance is just it's ridiculous, especially down there. I mean, there was a time, Olga, if you remember, I think it was in the last couple of years, a lot of insurance companies pulled out of Florida. They weren't insuring anybody. So
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
then some came back, but now these two hurricanes, who knows what's going to happen?
Well,
So
I actually
it's
have a client that lives down South Jersey around Boca, which is right around, Fort Lauderdale. I believe
right.
he told me his insurance is around $7,000 a year. Single family home, right?
Oh my
And
God.
he has a really good job, and his wife has a good job, and they are thinking about leaving because the cost of living is just getting outrageous, as you can see by the cost of insurance.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. We have another comment here. Condos aren't selling in Madison, Wisconsin as well. But I have a feeling with the condos, you have the HOA tied to that. That might be
Mhm.
why too, because people don't want to deal with those HOA fees.
Some
And I
people,
totally
some people don't want to deal with HOAs because they can have really restrictive covenants. I know of a couple of HOAs in our area that can tell you can only have one dog and one cat, or
yeah.
they say you can't have any dogs. So they depends. It really depends on how comfortable you feel.
Awesome. Yep. It's so true. Um, Kate, that makes me so happy. The agent you recommended for me, she's one of the best in the area. Of course, I would only hook you up with the best agent.
That's
So,
awesome.
oh my God, Kate, please keep me updated. I am praying you get like top dollar and it's a quick sale and they're easy buyers and it's an easy transaction. So please keep me updated. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Aloha, everyone. What value does real estate agent provide? I just bought a home and found the school district and home. The parasite fee was 15K. Well, okay. So you paid your agent, right? So this sounds like a situation where you had to pay your buyer's agent. Um, I wish your agent would have negotiated that, the commission with the seller. Yeah, because, you can do that. If the seller's not offering to pay the commission, you can write that in your offer and ask the seller to pay for it anyway.
What's
So
the
that's
parasite
unfortunate.
fee? Is he talking about the commission? Is that what?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm assuming that, yeah. So that's what I would have done. I would have seen if you can, like not to throw shade on that agent, but that could have been negotiated with the seller. So thank you for that comment. Um, what else? What else? What else? So my condo was sitting almost 3 months on the market. I had to cut the rate to 15K. Shall I let it sit on the market or take it out of MLS, put it back on the spring? Okay. If you're working with a real estate agent, I'm assuming you are, have them pull the comps, see what's sold, see what's under contract, what's active in your market right now. Make sure you're competitive with the condos that are currently active. If you're not, if you're priced a little too high, you might have to reduce your price again. But like Olga said, right now it's so slow because we got the election coming up in a couple of weeks. So if you don't have any activity, like say in like another week or so, there's just the interest isn't there right now. May not be a bad idea to just try it again in the spring.
you know,
But
you know,
run the comps, see what's going on in the market.
Another helpful thing is to see if there are any other condos in your building that sold in the last 60 days, because they obviously looked at yours, but they chose something else. So why
Yeah.
did they do that? What was their strategy? What did they find more attractive in those condos? Take a look.
Yes.
It could also mean that you may, if you do a price reduction, you may maybe take it off the market, put it back on in the evening or the next day, redo the photos, maybe do some extra
Hmm.
staging, change your language. There's a lot of things that you
Oh, there's
can
a
do
lot of
to cut.
things.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, all right. Okay. Let me see. Okay, Gringa. Are there any best kept secrets in the Eastern Seaboard? I need to relocate from SoCal to not SoCal for cost of living before retirement. Best kept secrets on the Eastern Seaboard.
That's a
Um,
huge adjustment. Talking about going
that's
from one coast to the other.
I know, but I will tell you, Delaware is a great state.
Mhm.
Very low property taxes. Home prices, they're I mean, some areas you can probably
Mhm.
get a good deal, but the taxes alone, it's a huge savings. So you'll definitely it'd be much cheaper cost of living there
And
versus
you
Southern
can actually
California.
you can find some new construction. I have a great agent partner there too that she recently told me because there was somebody that was thinking about not sure where they went to go, and they
Right.
ended up going to Delaware and getting a new construction that was around 400. So
Yeah.
it might not be a bad idea. Maybe even Maryland. I guess you know what was also which part of the East Coast? Like where? What are we talking about?
Right. Do you want the Southeast? You want the Northeast? So if you want, and another option, another good option, is South Carolina too.
Mm-hmm.
A good friend of mine relocated from California, from Bakersfield, California. She's now in Somerville, South Carolina. Absolutely loves it. The property taxes. Now, so I also have a client that lives in Moore, South Carolina. He was telling me today the property taxes. Your property taxes is 4% of the purchase price, and then that's it. So he pays $1,800 a year for a 3,000 square foot house in South Carolina.
That's
Like,
amazing.
right? I mean, where else are you gonna get that? So, if you want the heat, the humidity, I mean, it does get hot, very hot and humid in South Carolina, like it does down in like when you get down to those states like Georgia, Florida. But it's huge cost savings. Huge cost savings. So hope that helps. Um, should I sell my condo next year in 2025? Well, it all comes down to what's your life situation.
Mm-hmm.
If it's time to do it, like go buy. Don't time the market. Don't be chasing the market. Don't time it. It comes down to your needs, your desires. Is it time for you to move on to buy, get into a house? If it is, then yeah, then it's a good time to sell for you, right? So don't try to time the market. That's not a good idea.
I also
So
think it's important for people to realize that you can't win both markets. You can't win when you're selling and you can't win when you're buying.
right.
So you think about where you're going to maximize the most amount of money that you're going to either get or you're going to invest in your new property when you buy.
Yep. Right. So Bob wants to know, where are you in South Jersey? What's your
I
market
cover
there?
I cover quite a few counties. I cover Gloucester, Camden, Burlington, Mercer, so quite a bit. I drive
Yep.
quite a bit of
Yeah.
areas.
Yes, you do. Jersey. All right. Been trying to get into housing market for the last 2 years, unable as everyone offers crazy in North Jersey. As of now, holding off as I see some houses staying longer in price reduction. Yeah, stay the course, hold out. Like it depends on the town. I mean, we are seeing some price reductions, but past couple of weeks, some areas, like I was saying, we're seeing multiple offers again.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Um, how accurate is the mortgage estimate in Zillow? Thank you for your help. You're so welcome, Lewis. Thanks for being here. So yeah, the mortgage estimate thing, you're talking about that mortgage calculator. I wouldn't rely on that. You got to go to a lender. You got to talk to a lender to get the real numbers because they don't have the accurate taxes, right? And they're giving like an estimate in a ballpark of what you pay for homeowners insurance. So I wouldn't rely on that. I would just you got to go to the source, go to the lender
The
to get
local
the
lender
proper.
for that state that you're in is going to give you the most accurate information on your closing costs too, because
Yes,
for example, in Pennsylvania, both buyers and sellers pay a transfer tax, which is the sales tax on you buying and selling a home. In New Jersey,
right.
only seller pays for it. So you have to
Yeah,
understand these nuances, and the lenders in the local area are going to be able to explain everything to you.
right. Right. Okay. Sean, how far below list price can you make an offer without missing off the seller or your agent? Okay, I see what you're saying, but that pissing them off. So I just said this before. I would start like 5%, or not start, but like typically 5% below list would be a if you're going to go in under list, 5% is the rule of thumb. So
Have your agent reach out to the seller's agent and say, "Hey, we are interested in making an offer. What are some of the numbers that it would make it work for you?" Remember, we're
yeah,
trying to make this as a win-win. So talk
yeah,
to them and ask them what's important. It could be a certain closing date is more important than more money. So you
yep.
just never know.
Exactly. Yep. Terms mean they could be just as important as the price.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in acquiring small acres, 3 to 5 acres, and building a home. I would like to have my own realtor assist me throughout this process. Is this possible? Yes, it is. Absolutely. They can help you find the land. And if they know builders, they can, refer you to a reputable builder. But absolutely, yeah, to help you find that land for sure. A real estate agent can do that.
And it's also important to have a good real estate agent to help you because depending where you are, you also have to think about your sewer and water systems. A lot of people don't think about it when they're building new homes. Are
Good point.
those right? Are those utilities even available in your area, or you're going to have to do private systems, which cost quite a bit of money?
Exactly. Right. Okay. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for all the great advice. You're so welcome, Gavin. Happy homeowners here. We love watching the channel. Oh, Gavin, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means the
I
world.
shout out. It's appreciated.
I love that. James, North Jersey apartment vacancies are popping up with 10% discounts on a new 1-year lease. Housing to follow. Wow, that's interesting. Well, you know
I've
why I
seen
think
that.
there's vacancies?
Hmm.
No, but there's vacancies because those apartments are too damn expensive. Have you seen those things that are going up? I've been talking about this. These
Hmm.
luxury apartments, you know, between $3, $5, $6,000 a month. Are you serious? I mean, what the heck? No, I'm
People are
not
getting
surprised.
greedy. They're getting
They
greedy.
they are. Oh, my friend 90. I haven't seen you in so long. How are you, my friend? Thanks for being here. I agree about Delaware. The low property taxes help a lot. Yes, absolutely. So, fun fact, I do own it's our vacation home. We do rent it out, but I have a condo, 4-bedroom condo. My taxes are not even $900 a year in
Oh
Delaware.
my
This
God.
is Delaware down
How
by
are,
the beaches.
what
Yeah.
are your HOA fees a month?
HOA
Just
fees,
curious.
the HOA fees aren't so great. So I pay
Mm.
about 350 a
A
month,
month?
but then
Hmm.
I also have to pay a condo fee quarterly, and that's
Okay.
another like 3 and change. So yeah, but the thing is with the condo fee, we get our cable service and internet service through the condo association.
But it's
So
also about other amenities, right? So I don't think actually
yeah, oh,
350
yeah.
is that
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, 3 and change it isn't bad. I mean, we have a kayak launch, swimming pool,
Mm-hmm.
um, basketball courts, there's nature trails. There's a 9-hole golf course there too, but I mean, you have to pay extra for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's
No, it's not bad.
it's great, and it's not bad at all. Green Gut, thank you. Okay, yes, I'm open to new construction. I'm open, but trying to minimize climate difference. Okay, good. Yeah, new construction might be the way. I'll never move east to I'll never move east to 103 degrees west, too much humidity and bugs. Yeah, I know. Florida, that's so listen, people think I hate Florida. I don't hate Florida. I just couldn't live there because of the humidity and the bugs. They have massive, have you seen the bug? You're down there now. Do you ever see those palmetto bugs? Have you ever
Yeah,
seen those?
not
Oh,
a fan. Not a fan.
oh my
And they're not
God, no.
roaches either. They are, like you said,
No.
meadow bugs. They're very different. But you know what? This is why Floridians have to be very proactive. Like this is part of their treatments that they have to do on a regular basis.
Yeah. Oh, no, thank you. Sean says, was October this slow before COVID? Are we returning to normal on the verge of a bubble pop? The October before COVID,
So that's like
um,
2019, I think.
it was,
Yeah.
yeah. So in 2019, I'm just trying to think back. I mean, I was busy. I was definitely busy that time of year, but
It wasn't the year.
it was a normal fall market. It was just like your normal fall market.
It
Yeah.
always slowed down in the fall because everybody's
Yeah.
in school.
Yep.
However, you have to remember that somebody is always shopping 365 days of the year because people need a place to live.
Exactly.
It's just
Exactly.
as many people.
But I think it's definitely slower this month than it was
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago for sure. Patty says many special assessments on older Florida condos that didn't meet inspection standards. Some people in my area are looking to government for a bailout. Palm Beach
Palm
County
Beach
here.
County.
Whoa. Now they're
Yeah,
going to go.
remember that
Wow.
has to do, I guess, with the concrete support that they're doing
Hmm.
because it would now was a law, statewide law. So now
Yeah.
everybody has to do it. Oof.
Well, those audits, Olga, on those buildings, now the state is mandating that these buildings have to undergo these audits. Do you know how much it costs for one audit, one building? It's $60,000 for them to come and inspect and audit the building.
So get
So
paid for it.
now,
That's a special assessment on the whole building now that has
yeah,
to be disclosed. And when they're trying to sell, it's not helping.
no, no, it's not. I feel so bad. Um, 1,800 a month in property taxes, South Jersey, same size. Where in South Jersey is there 1,800 a month in property tax? I don't know. Is there? That's
I'll have to find out where. Like if he's talking about like where in South Jersey, like if he's talking about, Morristown, Cherry Hill, Voorhees, which is Camden County, which is gets you closer to Philly, I could
yeah.
see that. I could see that. But if
Okay.
you start going down more South Jersey where it's a lot more relaxed, it's
Yeah.
more rural. I've
Rural.
seen some
Yep.
really, really nice taxes. So Jersey
Yeah.
is not all about huge property taxes, not everywhere.
You're right. That's true. It's really North Jersey and the shore.
Hmm.
It's ridiculous. You're so welcome. I'm so glad I was able to help you. Thank you. No luck finding any reasonable house with the outrageous price in North Jersey, and interest rates aren't helping either. I'm considering relocating to PA. Well, you know what? That's what a lot of people are doing. I just talked to another buyer today. He was looking in Jersey originally, and now he's looking upstate New York, like way upstate New York, and because it was so much cheaper than being down here. So, max marketing. I think real estate agents have lost sight of the buyer. Buyers matter still. All I hear is fomenting and praising the seller and their sales price. Not good. It makes the buyer lose respect for agents. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but um I listen for myself. I love working with buyers. You got that's like my biggest portion of my business is where it's buyers. And Jen Sylvester, who was on last week, we talk about this all the time where 80% of the agents really aren't doing such a great job. They're in it for obviously for the money. I mean, we all want to make money, but there's that 20%, the remaining 20%, like myself, you, Olga, Jen, those of us who are true advocates for our clients. And we're in the business to help people. It's not all about just making that commission. Like we genuinely want to help people get into a house. And that's just it. I mean, do you agree with that? But the 80-20, the 80%, 20%?
100%.
Yeah.
And you know what, too? When you are starting to get into the thought of becoming a homeowner, where if you want to sell your home, you should interview more than one agent. You should
Yep.
interview at least three, would be my
Three
minimum,
agents.
right?
Three agents. Absolutely. Yep.
Just because you are not going to click with each of them, and you need to make sure that you have a really good communication and rapport with the person that you choose to partner with for this particular reason. The house that you're going to either sell or buy is going to be one of the biggest investments that you have, and you cannot make this decision lightly.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Do you need a buyer's agent? Hi, Bill. I've seen you before. Do you need a buyer's agent in this new area? Who pays the buyer's agent? Well, what I can tell you, Bill, so far, so ever since that NAR settlement happened and the changes that went into effect August 17th, what I'm personally seeing now, Olga, I want to hear what you're seeing, but what I'm personally seeing is the sellers are still paying the commission to the buyer's agent. I have yet to see any seller offer zero compensation to the buyer's agent. So not much has changed since that rule went into effect August 17th. I mean, Olga, what about you? Um, have you seen a change?
I haven't. It's just what I'm seeing in some cases where they'll say, please put the compensation that you are requesting in writing with your offer. They may not specify how much they're offering, but they will say sellers open to a compensation.
Right. Yep.
And I
Okay.
think this is where it's so important to have a experienced agent who is going to explain to the seller why it's so important to offer the compensation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you guys, if we were to ask you to work for free, would you work for free? This is our livelihood here that we're talking
True.
about.
Yep. No, it's true. But the other thing too, if you're offering zero, no one's going to want to look at the house because they're saying I can't afford to pay my buyer agent commission.
Mhm.
So so you have that. That's a big problem. And that, like I just listed a condo up here in North Jersey, out West Jersey, and I had that conversation with them, and they were all set. They were going to offer it anyway. They were like, it was not a problem, but I had to explain the whole thing with the NAR settlement. But you can choose to offer whatever you want, and they're like, well, if the other homes had sold are offering this amount, then we'll do the same thing. Like, all right, that's good because no one's going to come look at it if you're not offering. Just because I have one buyer, he'll call me up if he sees a house. The first thing he says, find out if they're offering the buyer compensation, buyer agent compensation. Otherwise, I'm not seeing it. And it's like, and I get it. I get it. So anyway, Shorta, is it better to buy a fixer upper if it means getting a little more house? The places I'm looking at in Maryland, anything under 300K needs work or it's in the city, which I don't want to go to. So be careful with getting into a fixer upper. If you're good at DIY and you can do some of those renovations, then fine. But if you got to bring contractors in, it's going to get very expensive
Mhm.
because once you start opening up walls, it's like opening up a can of worms and it gets very, very expensive. So just be very careful about that. So if you're looking at a fixer upper and you're interested in it, if you can find a contractor to walk through that house with you just to give you an idea of, what can be done, what can't be done, how much that will cost, I highly recommend doing that. I've had buyers over the years do that, bring contractors in to get an opinion. So I would absolutely make that, do that when looking at a fixer upper.
So the benefit of buying a fixer-upper is if you have the ability and the means to do the fixing, then you can make that house your own with your own choices of materials and
Yeah,
finishes.
a million percent. Yep. All right. That's true about Zillow. I did a HELOC and the lender valued my condo 100,000 more than Zillow did. You see, Zestimates, they suck. Sorry. Zestimates suck. You can't go by them. So I'm glad
Absolutely.
that worked to your benefit. That's awesome. 90. How's the real estate market in Wilmington, Delaware? Wilmington, I'm not sure. I think I think it's still pretty hot. Where we have a place down the beaches in Delaware, it's slowed down. We're seeing price reductions, and because that's primarily a second home market, so when the interest rates went up, we started seeing price reductions happening down there. So, but I think Wilmington, it's I don't know. I mean, I can look into that for you, 90, if you'd like. Is Delaware a landlord friendly state? Yeah, for the most part, it is. I owned a rental property there, and I mean, of course, I had awesome tenants, and then we just sold it a few months ago. But as far as the laws go, it's pretty friendly. I find it friendlier to the landlord than it is to the tenants. We're in New Jersey. It's a very tenant friendly state,
Mhm.
so you gotta be aware of that. You're buying a rental in Jersey,
I
so.
found there was a helpful article that I read that stated that if you are looking for a landlord friendly state, you may look for a red state
Yep.
versus
Yeah.
blue. So.
Yep. That's true. That is true. What is an agent's responsibility? Find good school districts, search for homes beyond sending filtered auto emails, good negotiators. So, an agent's responsibility, yes, we will look for homes for you. But look, I'm going to be honest with you. People are looking on Zillow anyway. Like all my clients, they end up sending me houses as soon as they come on Zillow. Like I get a daily update. I mean, some days, like I'll wake up to a text like, "Oh, this is on the market." I'm like, "Okay." Let me get on MLS and take a look at that. Um, but we're also here. The responsibility is we're here to guide you. We're your advocate. And we're here to guide you through the process. So if I see a house, and I just did this 2 weeks ago, I was out with a buyer. We're looking at this house. It was too small. And I told them, I said, you're going to outgrow this. I'm just telling you, you got to think the big picture. How long are you going to live in this house? Because you're going to outgrow it really fast, and not that I'm trying to push to buy a bigger house, but this particular one, I was like, yeah, I just because I listened to what their needs are, what their plans are, and I'll tell them like, you know what, this isn't good. Or, if the house is in a bad location, that's the first thing I will tell people. Like, no, you're not going to look at that. Trust me, because you're not going to sell it. It's not going to. It's not going to hold its value. So, look, we are here to guide people through the process, and I feel like. Aloha, you obviously have some bad feelings towards real estate agents, and look, that's your prerogative, that's your opinion, and you probably had a negative experience, and I'm sorry about that, but we're not all like that. This is our livelihood, and we do take this seriously, and we are in this to help people. And I can totally speak for you, Olga, on that one.
I tell my clients that my job was to watch their back, to,
Yes.
to help them and guide them in one of the biggest investments that they make.
Yep.
And having an honest and really in-depth conversation about what you are looking for in a home.
Yep.
What are your dreams and goals and desires? Where do you see yourself in the next 5, 10, 15 years? Share
Yep.
that with your agent so that way they can understand exactly what you're trying to accomplish. Because if you don't
Exactly.
share that with them, they don't have a foundation to build on to help you find what you're looking for.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So here's another example. So a buyer referral I sent out a while ago. He called me today because he put an offer on a house, and the house had been on the market for 150 days. And he's like, we're at a state, they're $5,000 apart. And he was like, I don't know what to do. It's my first time doing this. The guy hasn't responded. He's not coming down any lower. I go, you're $5,000 apart. Said, you got to think about how bad do you want that house?
Mhm.
And then go talk to your lender to see what's your mortgage going to be with that another $5,000 tacked onto it. I said, because spread out over 30 years, 5 grand is like pennies.
It's a cup of
So
probably is
yeah,
what does that $5,000 translate into your monthly payment? What is that?
right.
$2 a month more? $5? Is that
Exactly.
to have that house that is you obviously like because you've made an offer on it?
Right. And to add to that, so he asked me for my opinion, and based on experience, right? Because he's like, I don't understand. The house hasn't sold. He goes, so does that mean we're not going to be able to sell it when once we own it? I go, no. I said it hasn't sold in 150 days because it was grossly overpriced. This house was at like over 600,000. Now you're down to the mid fours. That tells me it's grossly overpriced. And I said, I know this is frustrating for you, but this is the game of negotiating, right? The sellers, he's been silent for a week. He's waiting for you to come back. And I said, now you need to decide, is that 5 grand worth it? Just come up another five, because sometimes people get a number in their head and they're like, no, I'm not budging.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you're getting a house that was originally listed for over 600,000. I mean, it might be worth it to spend the five. Roy says, I think New York State has required the building engineering audits and reserve funds for decades now. Florida just gets the idea. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that about New York. I'm not surprised. Blue Sky, thanks for being here. My current house is paid for, but I want to move into a new house. Can I get a 30-year mortgage and buy the house so my current house, and then pay off the mortgage a month or two later? I'm trying to understand. I'm in South Carolina. They're telling me I can get those loans without prepayment penalty. Does that sound right? So yeah, pretty much loans. Wait, that should say sell my current house, then pay off the mortgage a month or two later.
What he,
Pay off the mortgage on the new house.
yeah, that's what he's talking about is getting the mortgage because he still owns
Yes,
his house. Buy it, then sell his house and pay off the mortgage.
right.
He
Yep.
received really a couple of months later.
You can totally do that, but listen, I'm going to just throw this out there. I think you should hang on to the mortgage for like I forget how long you should. like, is it 6 months, 6 or 9 months? Otherwise, the lender doesn't get paid. If you like take out a loan and like 2 weeks later you go pay it off, then that lender's not gonna get paid. But yeah, but you can talk to your lender. A lot of loans these days, they don't have a prepayment penalty, but confirm that with your lender, for sure. So,
Good lender is
all
going
right.
to guide you. Again, having a good team member is going to, they're going
Mhm.
to help you and guide you, because you know what? If they know that you're not going to hold on to it, they may tell you, why don't you get a 10-year, 15-year ARM, which is an adjustable mortgage, which is going to be
Mhm.
cheaper. And then you'll
Right.
be paying less money. So
Exactly.
strategies are there.
Yes. Deltron, thanks for being here. Prices are down in some cities and up in others. The reality of the situation is house prices nationally are up year over year. Yeah, they are.
Sure.
But those 10 cities that I mentioned in the beginning, they're those, especially Austin and parts of Florida, like that's what's bringing that number down. the
Mhm.
percent, the percentage, the price increase.
Mhm.
So I interview at least 5 agents and just went with the one I knew wouldn't commit white collar crime and rob me. I honestly have never met a good agent. I've only met a few mediocre agents. Well, I don't know where you are, Aloha, but I feel really bad for you about that. That kind of sucks that you talk to that many agents and you still could not find somebody decent. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Carlos, I'm a veteran looking to sell and buy in North Jersey. Would like info on best realtors. Carlos, do me a favor. Description box right below this video. There's a link. Go down, click on it, fill out the form, and I'll get back to you and we can have a conversation. I would love to help you out with that. I definitely will find you somebody good. All right, ZZ. What if the seller's roof is 20 years old in the Northeast but no leaks, in good shape? Will the buyer run into problems with getting home insurance? And should the seller give the buyer credit? This is so funny. I was just talking about this whole thing this weekend with my buddy who's also my producer. She's putting the comments on the screens here. So, yeah, if you have a roof over 20 years old, homeowners insurance is going to be an issue for the buyer. Even if it's not leaking, they don't want to insure homes with older roofs. They don't. So I'm in a situation where my house, I just broke the news to my husband. I'm like, we're going to have to redo this roof because in a few years we want to sell it. It's going to be an issue. And he was like going to kill me, but it was like, what are you going to do? Because it's either that, even if you get like a seller's credit, or if you reduce the price to reduce it by offer it at 10,000 less what it costs to replace the roof, it's still going to be an issue if you don't have that repaired or you don't have it replaced. That's how I feel. I mean, if these, unless somebody finds a homeowners insurance company that will take them on, but they're just going to pay a lot of money. So, I mean, do you agree with that, Olga?
I do. And you know what? This is where, if you are a seller and you are
Hmm.
in the process like you are, Jackie, now is the
Yeah.
time to start planning and saving up, because the new roof is going to cost you quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
It's easier to plan it if you don't have to do it now, because you have the time on your hands.
Yes, absolutely. Sam Scott, thanks for being here. I really want to buy a house in Florida. Has no HOA and insurance costs. Okay for me. I don't know what's holding me back. Election, market trend, interest rates. I would say all of the above, and that's okay. If you want to wait and sell me. Well, look, I can't sell you on it. Like, if you got I say this all the time, if you want to buy a house, it's all on your terms and your life situation and your
Hmm.
financial situation, right? Like I
Hmm.
just said to the other person before, don't time the market.
There's
Don't
never a right time.
There's never a right time. The only right time is your life situation and like that time is like, okay, I need more space. I'm starting a family, I'm getting married or whatever, I'm downsizing. So you have to go by your personal situation and your financial situation too.
Right. What
So,
does your budget
yep,
look like? How is your rainy day fund?
yep,
If you feel comfortable with everything, maybe you're thinking about buying this as a second home, vacation home. Why
yep,
not? If the
exactly.
numbers look good and it feels right to you, that intuition, then why not?
Right. living our lives. How is life in the Philippines, my friends? I haven't seen you guys in a while. An agent should be like a true friend, care enough to tell you the hurtful truth
Mhm.
versus applauding you while watching you fall. I love that statement. Oh my
That's
God.
right.
Right? That is
Yes.
so true. It is so true. I love that. Thank you for that. Bob says, I find agents also take the emotions of the buy sell process and keep it neutral for buyer and seller, especially the seller. Thank you, Bob. I just had a situation a few weeks ago where the I was representing the buyers, and the it was getting tense with the buyer and seller over some inspection issues, and we were there at the house, and things got really heated, and it's hard to be like
Mhm.
for us to be in that position without looking like we're siding with anybody. But yeah, that you're so right. We take that emotion, we take that out of it, and we try to, like, cooler heads prevail. Let's take a step back. Let's think logically about this and what's the best solution, right? That's another part of it. And yeah, it does, because it gets so super emotional. um Paula says, I am relocating and am looking at areas in 3 different states. It will come down to if a property has what I want. Can I work with multiple agents? How would contracts with the agent work? Well, you can, this is what I recommend. If you're looking in 2 different markets, then yeah, you would need multiple agents. But to work with multiple agents in the same market, I don't recommend that, because if one agent finds out you're working with somebody else in that same market, they really are not going to put their best foot forward for you, because they're going to be like, you know what, they're working with somebody else at the same time. So yeah.
And you know what, too? I think it also makes a difference which state. If you're working with somebody on the border between 2 states, like for example, like myself, I know,
Yes,
and I have a license in more than one state, so I can help clients who are both in New Jersey as well as PA. So you may
exactly.
want to interview and talk to some people. Again, it's all about talking to other agents to see who it may make sense for you to work with, and then you can
Yep.
decide on what's best.
Yes. Okay. We specified what we were looking for, but the agent refused to look at school data, claiming it was illegal to steer. How is it illegal to say only consider schools with a certain score? Okay, let me explain to you about so this is a thing. We have a code of ethics that we have to follow. And yes, what they said is correct. We can't tell you, you should go to this town because this school district is top notch. You don't want to go to that town because the school district's crap. We can't do that. We can't. It's just it's the rules we have to abide by. So you do your research, say these are the towns I want to look in because I like this school system, and that's what we do. We search for homes in those towns that you like, that you where you want to live. But yeah, listen, you have no idea how much trouble we could get into, because there are agents are out for blood. So if somebody hears that another agent was steering, they'll go to the real estate commission and try to get their license revoked. I mean, and there's people that work for the realtor association that's out there checking on agents, making sure that we're on the up and up, and we're doing everything like ethically. Because oh my god, if you get you get caught, there's fines and there's the risk of losing your license.
Our
So
job is to guide you and show you the resources, that way you can decide which districts make sense
million
to you.
million
'Cause
per- yep.
our opinion is our opinion, and what you're looking for is only what matters the most to you. So we
Yep.
put you with the resources and then let you make the decisions.
Yep. Fitness health. If you were to pay cash for a home, how much lower in percentage will you offer to the seller? You
It
know,
depends on the market.
it depends. Exactly. It's the same thing. You can go 5%, or you can, yeah. I know what they're saying, because I've seen that where people will just do a low ball and say,
Mhm.
oh, but I'm cash. But if you're like way under list price, a
But if
seller's
you're
not
in a
going to take
multiple
it.
offer situation, I've seen people offer cash more than the asking price, and
Yeah.
that winning offer, because sellers didn't have to worry about the mortgages and all of the things that are pertaining to that
Yep.
process. But still, they had to offer more because it was a hot market.
Yep. Exactly. JP says, what is the best month to sell high? What do you think of selling between January to March? I like the winter before you get into the thick of the spring market because there's less competition. It's right.
100%.
There's less listings on. That's what I mean to say. So yeah, so that is the best time to put it on
It's
before like so.
also,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, look at your particular neighborhood, your area. Go back 12 months and look at how many homes went on the market in your neighborhood in January, February, March, and then in the spring market. And that will give you an idea how many homes you're going to compete with.
Exactly. PJ, recommend a good buyer's agent in Delaware, looking Bethany Beach, Millville. PJ, do me a favor. Fill out the form, click the link below, fill out the form, and I will definitely get you connected with somebody. I have somebody down there who's very good. So Kay, hey Kay, oh my God, it's been a while. I had an awesome agent like you two. Thank you. When I sold last in DC, he even helped the inexperienced buyer's agent. I'd hire him again in a heartbeat. Thank you for saying that. That's awesome. That's so nice. He helped the buyer's agent out.
Don't we do that
Aw.
quite often?
We do. Yeah, I've done it. I've totally done
I
it.
do too.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's great. That is great. Gabby, looking to invest in a multifamily property in Texas. If one unit is occupied, could the tenant refuse a showing? Yeah.
Yes, they
Yep.
could. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And that could be a problem. So I've listed a couple of homes that were rentals. The tenants did not make it easy for my sellers. I felt so bad for them. Blue Sky, you guys are such great asset for home buyers. I love your transparency and honesty. Thanks for what you do. You're so welcome. You're
Thank you
so
so much.
welcome. Yeah, thanks for saying that. I appreciate it. Abhi, thank you for doing these streams and educating buyers sellers. We filled form on your website and seeking your help in our single home search in Essex Union County. When can we expect reply? I will reply to you, if not tonight, tomorrow. I will get back to you because I do get these things. I get these requests. I get a lot of them. So I will definitely read it tonight and I will get back to you. Thank you for filling that out. Living our lives. I thought agents can tell you what's good and bad about areas. Mistaken. We can't. We really can't. Like we tell you, like I tell my clients, look at niche.com. That's my favorite website as far as any data for crime in schools, things like that. Yeah, because it's considered steering.
People can
So
also check with the local police departments. And I also tell
yes,
people, go talk to neighbors. Tell neighbors will let you
yes,
know if they like it, what's happening. That's the best way. We can provide
yep.
you with resources where to find the information. That's it.
Another good resource, Olga, is going on like those local Facebook groups. Like we have
Yes.
one here, Bergen County Moms, and then we
Mm-hmm.
have local towns with, whatever,
Yes.
such and such to moms and whatever. And you can go on those pages and ask and say, I see it all the time. Looking to buy a house in these towns. Anybody live there? What can you tell me? And people are
100%.
happy to share information with you. So, yep.
100%.
Yes. Abhi says, considering mortgage rates going up again, prices not budging, seasonality, when do you think active buyers will be able to secure a house? In Essex and Union County, I think Union's definitely calmed down. I'm not sure about Essex. So as far as to time it, again, yeah, you can't time it. You can't time it. It's all about when it's right for you. So, but we'll talk, Abby. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I'm happy to help you out. Um, okay, what else we got here, Jen? All right, joke agent. This house is great, but it's really for cats. Buyer, what do you mean? Agent, it will take you 9 lives to pay off the mortgage. That was a good one. Thanks, Blue Sky. I like that. All right, is that
That's
it
the
for
first
comments?
joke I saw. That was
Yeah,
great. That was
yeah,
good.
yeah. Yep. Oh my God. Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to share with everybody Miss Olga's YouTube channel. So if you guys are like looking in South Jersey or the Philadelphia markets, Olga is your gal. Check out her channel. Olga does talk a lot about her channel, her contents about retiring. So if you're in that position and you're thinking about retiring, please watch her videos. They're very good, very informative, and you will definitely learn a lot from her. but feel free to reach out to her if you are looking to purchase. Why, thank you, Jen.
Thank you. I appreciate
And then,
that.
yeah. What else? Okay. If you, here is my website. So this is what I'm talking about. You click on this link, you scroll to the bottom, and you fill out that little form there, and I will get back to you, and I'll get you connected to an agent in your market. So please fill that out. And just one last, I got to do. It's so fun.
Applaud.
Jen's getting a little nuts here with the sound stuff. Oh my god! One more I got to do shameless plug. If you guys don't know, I talk about it all the time. Me and Jen Sylvester have a great podcast called Reddit Real Estate Disasters. Please check us out. It's a lot of fun. We read stories from Reddit about people's experiences with buying and selling homes and like the nightmares that they've dealt with. And Jen and I, obviously, we opine on it. And we share like what we were like, oh, I would have done it differently. So it's a lot of fun. So please feel free to check us out. We're on all podcast platforms, and we're also on YouTube if you want to look at our lovely faces. So
do you do it as a live, or do you just guys record it as an episode?
We record it. We record it and we just put it up there. Yeah. So anyway, Miss Olga, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here this week. It was wonderful as always. So all right, everybody, I thank you so much for being here, for the comments, the questions, and I will be back again next Monday. Oh, we got our exit music going. Thanks, Jen. I just love my producer. Just want to say that. Everybody show some love for Jen. Jen's awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Monday. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.